Studio is live. Maxwell.
Welcome inside the locker room.
Good morning. You know what time it is, but if you do not, well, let me refresh your memory. You remember those matches you watched on Saturday that got a lot of you and your friends shouting, "Oh, give me my money! I told you this one's going to score!" Blah blah blah. You remember the score line 3-2? Did that give you IBP? Let's talk about that and talk about the match, the Wilder match over the weekend, and the anticipation, the anxiety it's creating in the minds of people regarding Anthony Joshua and if he should fight him next. Well, those questions will be answered by the very honorable, the very respected, the much versed sports enthusiast, promoter, supporter, curator, Tega Supreme.
Good morning, Lagos. This is why you should watch YouTube. Good morning, Lagos.
Good morning. People should start paying me, please, for this. All this hailing and all this packaging.
No, should come naturally because I'm all that and more.
Yeah, that's it. I should record it pretty much. I think that's better. I record it maybe for the show because I can't do this every time. But Tega, so good to see you.
Thank you so much. So good to see you too because you're about to give me $100. So yes, thank you, Jesus.
My bank manager is not listening. By the way, you can be part of this conversation by sending us messages on WhatsApp 0809 444 we're joined by.
About should we introduce?
I think we should.
At this early stage.
No?
Because the seat is very hot too.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, because everybody, so Lagos, everybody says, I want to work on radio. I want to be an OAP. They'll give you their best British, well, American accent, depending on where they school. So today we are throwing somebody on.
Yes,
let's not say we're throwing her on that, but we are putting her on the hot seat.
Yeah.
So she's going to come in. You will hear her voice sometime during the show.
Because we do not like how passionate she is about the club, so we need to.
We have to, yeah. So it's about time. We have to do her like Shaka. Shaka cannot score. He cannot play. So we've put her here that maybe perhaps you should come and play.
Perhaps. The hashtag is lockerroom981. Oman held off Nigeria and won 6-5 in a closely fought encounter in Group D. Oman jumped into a 2-goal lead thanks to Eid Al-Fasi's left-footed curling rocket into the far corner from distance and Jalal Al-Sinani's impressive scissor kick. Emeka Ogbonna responded to the early let down by scoring 2 goals and bringing the Super Eagles level early in the second period. Now, Oman just had too much for Nigeria as goals from Mushal Al-Araimi and Al-Fasi and Sami Al-Bulushi had them 5-2 up at the end of the second period.
Exactly. I was going to say, when they say closely fought, it became close towards the tail end when Oman knew they were going to win. But the way beach soccer is totally different. 1 minute you can be 4 goals down. Give them just a few minutes and you have 5 goals up. The way they score, because you can score from the kickoff, you can score from the free kicks are everybody just moves away, pats the red and you take your shot. So it's easy to score that many goals in such a short period of time. But what happened to Nigeria? First of all, I have to say this: Nigeria was beaten 10-1 against Portugal. It's the worst kind of capitulation I've seen. They scored first, and then Portugal was like, "Why did you score against us?" And you know how somebody says, "Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?" Then he pushes somebody. Then the person now rush him and then give him something to eat. That's what Portugal did to us in that first game. 10-1, horrible scoreline. And then Nigeria comes into the second game and you expect that at least they'll be a little better defensively. I don't know whether they took Oman for granted, but they should have known Oman was in as desperate a situation as they were in. And so when Nigeria went 5-2 down, I didn't think they were going to win that match because it looked like for every thing Nigeria did, they were matched by Oman. So even if they're able to close the gap of the result to 5-6, it was still Oman dominating and dictating at the end of the day. So not very happy with the Sand Eagles. I think we've considered the highest number of goals at this World Cup so far. We've considered 16 goals. Tahiti is the one that was closest to us, and I think they considered 11 or 10. So we've dusted Tahiti. And the last game Nigeria is playing is against Brazil. Brazil has won the other 2 teams in the group that has beaten Nigeria. So I don't know if we are going by that logic.
Yeah.
I don't know that there is hope for Nigeria. Brazil is just the tournament is taking place in Paraguay, and Brazil is just next door. Well, a few doors down. So they are practically at home. Nigeria is not. It doesn't look like it's going to be a good day for us.
Oh, well. Okay.
So I'm very sorry, Abu Aziz.
Imagine your neighbor coming into your house
Yeah.
and you're scared.
I really want to support you, Abu Aziz, and I'm supporting you. It's just that I don't have any hope for this Andy Goose.
Okay.
Not one.
Messages come to WhatsApp 0809440981. Now, Deontay Wilder has described himself as the hardest hitter in boxing after his seventh round knockout of Luis Ortiz in Las Vegas on Saturday. Now, the Cuban had dominated the first six rounds but was knocked out to the floor by a stunning right hand from Wilder, who's 34 years old. He retained the WBC World Heavyweight title with his 42nd win from 43 fights, 41 of those by knockout. In his words, the American said, I think I earned my respect to say that I'm the hardest hitting puncher in boxing history. I do what I do time and time again. I give people great fights and great knockouts, but he didn't knock out in seconds. It didn't.
No. Again, he did say this, and I keep saying he's not the cleanest of fighters. He doesn't have any finesse. He doesn't have class. He doesn't have style. He's just a beast unleashed. That's literally what he is. And so because he's like that, he would have other seasoned boxers that can get advantage of him when it comes to points.
Yes.
But what he did say before the fight is what happened exactly in the fight. You have to, in order for you to beat me, you have to be perfect and consistent for 12 rounds. All I need is 2 seconds. And that's literally at any round. That's literally what it is. Because most in general, because he doesn't have that finesse, he doesn't have that footwork, he doesn't really know how to defend. All this one they say people cover face, he doesn't know how to do it. So he got a lot of body shots from Ortiz. He got a few headshots. Ortiz really even almost knocked him down in the fifth round. He just didn't. Oh well, I don't know who stopped what first. I think either he didn't follow through and then the round ended, so he had to walk away because Ortiz got him and he was staggering. But what it was is he knows how to take punches. You can pound him like yam, and he would just be there. But he had, because he's such a resilient fighter, he had made Ortiz tired, and so the first thing that goes when you're tired is your footwork, and the next thing is your defense. Ortiz already looked tired. He wasn't moving around well, and Bomba just looked at that and said, "No, I can see that there's space in your face." Yeah. So the way he was, Ortiz, there was nothing. It wasn't a flurry of punches. It wasn't that he had Ortiz in a corner. Ortiz was one moment standing and looking for an opening to throw his jabs and then his punch. And the next minute it was lights out. That's it. Like he said, if you blink, it's good night. And Ortiz blinked. It was good night because it was, both of them were looking at each other like, where am I going to hit? And then Ortiz drops his hand. The way that Wilder entered that shot, it was the speed, the accuracy, and then the power. Ortiz just closed his eyes like, no need for us to quarrel. It's only fights we are fighting.
You know what fascinated me? The spray of water behind Ortiz's back. The Ortiz's head.
Yeah, that's how much the force of the punch was. It took his head. It was lights out. Like, I'm sure Ortiz didn't know his name when he hit the canvas. He didn't know who he was or where he was
because it was this for a long time. I kept staring at his face. Yeah, he was staring blankly.
The punch connected. It did, and that's what it is. Because on points and everything else, Ortiz was leading in the fight. So the truth of the matter is, the only way that Deontay Wilder was going to win that fight was through a knockout. And he just looked for that sweet punch. And you see, which is why sometimes the knockout comes early with fighters that are not as good and maybe not as experienced or a bit afraid. But with some fighters, he will wait for you because towards the 7th, 8th, 9th, 12th round, you're tired a little bit. Some things will go. And he's ever ready. So he was I kid you not, 2 seconds. The way he took out Ortiz, in Ortiz's life, if he sees Deontay Wilder on one side of the road, he'll cross to the other side very quickly. So Deontay Wilder, it was a good fight. Like I said, he has no finesse, but he keeps winning round after round. I think his next fight, they're really trying to push that rematch between himself and Tyson Fury. Yeah. First, but of course he keeps there's still the fact that Joshua has to defeat Andy Ruiz in December.
Yes.
If that happens, then the clamor for this Wilder fight versus Anthony Joshua fight will be loud. Nigeria
next
versus
weekend.
Nigeria. So next weekend, first of all, we need to see AJ and Andy Ruiz, and after that, the noise will be unbearable for Eddie Hearn. He will have to fix this fight eventually.
Do you think? Okay, we'll get to that point.
But
do you think Joshua is ready or has any chance?
Look, this like I said, as if you're talking of just fighting, I think Joshua is a better fighter, but because Deontay Wilder is the way he is, he needs only one punch, like he said.
Yeah.
Joshua needs 12 great rounds.
That's it. I'm worried. Tony from Coca says, "Good morning, guys. Wilder is nothing but a beast. What a real boxer should be off and on the ring." And Chukudi says,
"Don't say off. He has 8 children." From different women.
Chukudi says Wilder's right hand must be the power infinity stone because wow, he punched Ortiz's soul out of his head. That's how I felt.
Yeah, something left Ortiz's body. His essence left his body.
It's also painful. Ortiz was winning 6 rounds to 1, and then boom, the equalizer comes. That right hand is becoming a messy right now. But let's move on now. Talk about Spain. Now, Rafael Nadal gave all he had on the Cara Magica Center Court in Madrid. Now, the top ranked Spanish star even admitted that he risked getting injured by playing 8 matches, 5 singles, 3 doubles in 6 days at the Davis Cup Finals, the new World Cup of tennis. Nadal won all of them, leading Spain to the 6th Davis Cup title after a 2-0 win over a first-time finalist Canada on Sunday.
Yeah, you have to remember that this is the same Nadal that had to withdraw from a tournament just a few weeks ago because of injury, and then he went to the ATP World Tour Finals, and he wasn't the fittest of people. Managed to win 2 matches there, lost one to Sasha Zverev, but you could see the struggle that he wasn't fit. Then he goes on to play 8 matches in 6 days. I don't know whose husband this guy is. People should need to tie him to a bed, because what he has done is that he has pushed that body beyond its limit. 8 matches with all that injury in 6 days, and he helped them to win. Congratulations to him. Someone else was briefing on the team, but it's Good, who lost his father. Went home, came back, continued playing. It's Spanish people, I don't know what's happening to them mentally and physically. They can go anywhere, so just get ready. But what it is, I mean, the winner at the end of the day is Gerard Piqué and his company, because they've been looking for a way to revamp this tournament and to have a player like Rafa Nadal put up all these stats and show up on every single match. Is a fantastic one for them. Not just for the fact that they were hosting, but he's such a crowd puller everywhere. Only 2 people can pull crowds like that: Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal. Roger Federer was pulling his own crowd in South America and North America because of Mexico, but the rest of the world was at Davis Cup. The rest of the tennis world was at Davis Cup. So it was an amazing tournament for them. Thank God they had a Rafa Nadal to help them. Unfortunately for the young Canadians, from paper you could tell they were not going to win. It was Denis Shapovalov, Felix Auger-Aliassime. They are great tennis players, but they are not the greatest of fighters. And so you see, you're playing against a Spanish side that have rubber players. They can play for 10 days and they're still ready to go. But I guess they've gotten some experience from that. But congratulations to Spain, and more importantly, congratulations to Gerard Piqué. We know that we'll be seeing you soon as president of Barcelona. It's coming. It's coming.
It has come up to 8:30 right now. We'll come back to take your messages and share some more stories inside of the locker room 981. Stay with us.
Okay, let me see what our next story is.
Next story is Manchester.
Okay, Manchester City. Please time me 2 minutes.
Okay.
Time me 2 minutes. Then Eden Hazard 2 minutes. Then she comes on.
Okay.
Because I want her to come on. So two minutes.
Okay, cool. 2 minutes then.
So 2 minutes here. 2 minutes here. Scroll.
2 minutes here.
Yeah.
And then.
It is Manchester. Okay, I need the Arsenal story. Sorry. Can I open it here? Is this it? What did I press? 2. Why is this thing being like this? I can't believe it. People will just stay in this studio and be singing songs. We're not gonna take off our braca. We are here. This will be hot too. If Arsenal employs Mauricio Pochettino and he's now in the same North London will catch fire. Because I can imagine on a derby day, Mourinho will come in as the guy that replaced Pochettino. Pochettino will come in as the girlfriend that was replaced. Then go fight, die. It'll be nice. Okay, so this is the story. Okay, so you just read here.
Okay.
But remember, the most important thing is 2-2. Oh God. Is it song after song? What the hell is wrong with all these ads? We're ready for you. So we'll do Manchester City first.
Okay. Okay.
2 minutes, then we are good.
So sports stories inside of the locker room. It's part of Smooth Breakfast here on Smooth 98.1. I am Valentine and Tega Supreme is here.
Thank you.
And soon you'll be hearing the voice of Mbebeng. That's what I'll call her. Let's talk about Manchester United and City. Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for one, was proud of Manchester United's valiant comeback at Sheffield United on Sunday, telling reporters that last year's team would not have produced such a strong response after going down 2-0 early on. Asked what sparked his team's fight after this dismal first half, Solskjaer said, "Sometimes football is beyond tactics. The energy compared to ours in the first half, and then we get that goal and we start to believe. The difference in the team this year compared to last is huge. They never give in. Last year would have gone 4 or 5 down instead of coming back. Would not have been able to come back."
So what is he saying? That the people last year did not have belief. They are not believers.
Now they are believers.
Now they are believers. So he's working with believers. That's why they consider the goal.
Yes.
Just when they in the last minute when they should have been winning the match.
It's
part of the belief. They believe they could consider goal. Rubbish and nonsense. But what it was is the way Manchester United played in not just the first half and the first, I'd say, 10-15 minutes of the second half was completely abysmal. So that when Sheffield United went by 2 goals up, I didn't see a Manchester United coming back into that game. There was no spirit. They weren't closing down spaces. They weren't chasing after anything. They didn't even look like they were growing anything. So for the first, I'd say 65 minutes, Manchester United looked a completely different team. And so when the score went up by 2 goals, I was like, lights out, school has closed. So yeah, everybody, let's be going home. Because it's one thing for a team to be leading you by 2 goals to nil. And if you're pressing, you can say, okay, maybe it's not lights out. There's still more than enough time to win. But from nowhere, I think it was the thing that they got a chance and they realized that Sheffield United has dropped the ball a little bit. And then they got a second chance. And I think that's when they started to actually push. He's right. It was not much really tactical, but I think some of the players that came on, like Greenwood, so they just started running. and the minute players are running at you, it takes a lot for you to start saying, I want to ignore him and go to attack. You can't do that. So yes, maybe not intentionally tactical, but in the end it turned out to work for him. And so 2 goals, from 1 goal went to 2-2, and then it went to 3-2, and it looked like Manchester United had secured all 3 points. Then Sheffield United woke up last minute and they equalized. I would say this for him. His team did show a fighting spirit. What they need to now show is better shape, and the defenders need to stop ball watching. Because I don't want to count how many times the defenders are just watching attackers run past them before they remember, oh, I'm supposed to close that guy down. Okay, let me chase him now.
And by that time,
do you understand? So I would say it made for a good match for the fans, but from a coaching point of view, not impressive.
Okay, so let's talk about Arsenal. Arsenal players have lost faith in Unai Emery and believe it's time for the club to take a decisive decision or action, according to reports. Another miserable performance in a 2-2 draw against Southampton this weekend had further underlined the belief among many that the Spaniard will not last the season at the Emirates. Results have been poor, with Arsenal now 8 points off fourth placed Chelsea in 8 after 13 games played.
Yeah. So, we have prepared this hot seat.
Yes.
This firewood. We've been burning it since morning. Yes. And now we're about to throw in our intern. Nsebong Mbebeng, please take away the Arsenal story. Nobody should be marking script though. You'll come to your office and mark your script.
Okay, so first of all, Tega, I'm going to say that I am still on recovery mode. Since Saturday, like that match was, okay, let me just go straight to the point. Now, we know that there was so much pressure on Unai Emery to get results at the Emirates on Saturday, particularly given the seismic changes in North London over the international break. And of course, Jose Mourinho, he's now the new Tottenham coach following the sacking of Pochettino. And also Tottenham, that move alone has also added an effect. It has really added an effect to turning up to it has turned up that heat on Emery, given the Gunners a disappointing run. So the game itself on Saturday was very, very, as a fan, I'm going to say it was disappointing. I'm not even going to, because my big brothers are so annoying. Just like you said, what is it with defenders watching attackers run towards them and they can't even do anything about it?
Yeah, okay. I think there's a bunch of defenders I would mention from Germany, Belgium. For some reason, they wait for defenders to get as close to them as possible before they stop it.
They wait
Why
for
do you,
attackers.
for attackers? Sorry.
Yes.
Why did they do that?
Because they are very loyal to their position.
No, check out. Defenders from Italy would have started closing you down from a distance, but defenders from Germany, from Belgium, some of them from France, they will wait for you to get close.
I'm going to relate that to the 66 minutes when Socrates lost the ball in his own. He lost it in his own box without another Arsenal player in that vicinity. Now he took touch. Okay, he took touch and was robbed by Cedric. Now all he had to do was to roll it across the goal to give Redmond a tapping, and guess what?
Nothing.
He panicked and he overhit the pass.
I remember that particular. Yeah.
So I'm like, what's really going on? And I think the same thing happened with Aubameyang, something like that. I think there was a time I think that second half the goal post was empty and the keeper, I think he fell or something, and then the ball was coming straight to you and you were there.
Aubameyang had seen the headlines. He was like, Captain Aubameyang scores on debut as captain of Arsenal team.
Do anything and he allowed the ball to pass, and I was so pissed.
So, but what did your brothers tell you?
Oh, not actually my brothers. I was actually
After
referring to, I was actually referring
whoever
to
it was. What did they say?
Okay, they were like, sorry. Everyone was like, sorry. Sorry.
Like you were hurt.
Everyone was now
You want
sympathizing.
to
And I
add
was
to
like,
that,
please
sorry,
don't say
yeah?
it. No, please. I don't want to.
It's fine. If you're watching us on YouTube, please
Oh my goodness.
come and defend
So,
me.
I
Big T
think
says,
yeah.
yes, Big T sent in a message. Thank you very much, and said, he said Arsenal's Unai bags have been packed. It's just transport money he's waiting for. And now that Jose Mourinho is around, he really has no choice.
You better start trekking. We don't have travel money for him.
Ike from Navy Town says, I do not know what is the biggest fraud between Ole, Valverde, or Emery. For me, it's Solskjaer. Your team is winning 2-3. You had 5 defenders on the pitch and gave away such a cheap. He's making flimsy excuses. He says you spent over 100 million pounds on defenders and you're still making schoolboy errors. You should please go. Tega said, do you think, what's your name? Please add your name to your message so we can take them. Emeka from Amoa says, if there's one thing Emery has achieved at Arsenal, it's making the latter Wenger years look like glory days. He has united the entire fan base that was massively divided. Pochettino for next Arsenal manager. Do I hear a loud amen?
Amen.
Oh, wow.
I want North London to burn.
No.
Just think about it. The ex-girlfriend from Tottenham.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Oh
Do you
my
understand
goodness,
what is to happen?
Mm.
Mourinho and Pochettino in the marketplace. The cat fight. Oh, the tomato that we sprayed.
It's coming.
Please, Lord. Please, Lord.
Now,
Answer my prayer.
Tony from Coca says, I think it's the same mama that gave birth to Emery and Ole. It seems like both of them, they are confident. Both are confident with their incompetence. Oh, interesting. Tyler says, Wilder pushed Ortiz's body into the astrophysical sphere. Like that Doctor Strange movie. That's exactly what I was thinking about. Boy, I love our fans. I love our listeners, rather. It says Ortiz was blinking like fuel was about to finish in the generator. The force is strong with Wilder. Chai, Anthony Joshua, please be careful. Do not let them deceive you. Oh, by the way, Anthony Joshua has arrived at Saudi Arabia in preparation for that game for December 7th. And this one is from Godwin from Ajay. It says, please, Otega, did you say Nigeria versus Nigeria and in Wilder and AJ fights? Or did I hear you well?
Oh, AJ, Wilder has actually said that he has roots in Nigeria.
Yes, we'll have to prove that, sure.
So
We'll look at the family tree in a bit. But then, let's touch on this story very quickly before we go. Harry Kane believes that Jose Mourinho can make the difference for Tottenham and keep them or help them end their 11-year trophy drought. In his words, Kane says, and as he expressed it, says the gaffers won at every club he's gone to. There's no hiding away from that. He wants to win. He's a proven winner. I've made it clear that I'm at the stage of my career where I want to win trophies.
so both of your needs have aligned. There can only be success from here on out. And but Jose Mourinho will be very upset about the defense. 1 minute you're leading by 3 goals to nil. The next minute the game is 3-2, and if the game maybe had extended a minute or 2 longer, it could have been 3-3. So at the end of the day, Jose Mourinho will not be happy with that line of defense. But what it is that they managed to win.
Yes.
Get the results first, and then you can get the style of play to follow. So I guess you get the result, and then you get the confidence rolling.
Moving on to YouTube for your messages. Lukman Adebayo says Manchester United truly annoys me. Beats Chelsea and Leicester, draw Liverpool and Arsenal. They are so consistent with inconsistency. And he added clueless. OGS is clueless. Okay. Using Manchester United for his research work. Back 3 never worked for him. And then he gambled again with Hungry Yonesi. Cool work. Thank you. Quadri says, I said CFC lost, but first time Pep has been out possessed in the game. The Chelsea youngsters need to stop losing their head whenever they concede, but great game regardless.
Yeah, that was a very good game. You could tell that like Pep Guardiola and his boys were nervous.
You could tell it was pretty obvious. Ridwan says the bronze bomber Wilder is the real definition of 2 seconds everywhere don't bust. Ortiz was just bouncing around, disturbing himself, and one punch, boom, it was gone. Diego Kingston says, I for one never expected a fight back from Manchester United. But they pulled a surprise and even went ahead to lead the game, though, for the fact that they've added them to the recipes of making raw soup. They had to concede the lead goal. Kosi Cole says, why can't Ole and Emery just see what Lampard is doing? Chimobi Victor from Alaba International says Manchester United and Arsenal are on the same WhatsApp group, while for Man City they did the scoring and Chelsea did all the playing. And a message from what's your name? Please add your names to your messages so we can take it. This final one from Kay says, do you think Ole is the man for the job for Man U? I hear Everton just sacked Marco. Is it true?
Well, no, because this morning there's been so many meetings. There's been a meeting in Arsenal. There's a meeting at Everton. So you can rest assured. I did a poll yesterday, and it leaned heavily towards Unai Emery being sacked. But I think Everton has gone ahead of you guys, and their meeting is a bit more effective. So I'm hearing that Marco has been given the sack. It's just an announcement that's left to be made, and Unai Emery too. But let's wait and see whose report comes out first.
All right. Thank you, Tega. You can find out Tega Supreme on Twitter for your comments and your questions. Really, she is very well ready to take them on. Or follow her at LIS International to see the progress of women in sports. And thank you very much, Anse, for your shameless admission about Arsenal's loss at the time. All right,
I hope we do better on Thursday.
You hope. We've been hoping and praying for long. Guys, let's talk at 9 o'clock for a conversation around one of the stories inside the headlines, and newspaper headlines, that is. This is still Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
Okay, good one.
Well done.
We'll work on this.